As per usual, Jack Trainor has a number of outstanding drives on the 10-event card at Club Menangle on Saturday night. I caught up with Jack to discuss their prospects and also get the latest news on Stylish Memphis. Well, Jack, another solid book of drives at Club Menangle on Saturday night. Prior to getting into those, the latest report on Stylish Memphis. You mentioned a few weeks ago she was disappointing in a trial, and she certainly didn't perform up to expectations last Friday.
No, that's right. She was probably just a little bit below her best, but just speaking to him up before the race, he thought she'd take big improvement out of the race, and it was more just a starting point. So I haven't heard any news since that race, so I'll have to do a bit of investigating and see what comes.
Could it be a case of no news is good news?
Well, I hope so, rather than the other way around. But yeah, from what I've heard, there's nothing too serious. But yeah, I don't know much more than that.
And then as they do get older, they take a little bit longer to get ready.
Yeah, that's right. And she was always a big mare. Like where I was lucky was that she'd already had her conditioning and early preps and racing before I'd get to her. So I just had to screw her down a little bit more and freshen her back up from the travel, and then I was away. So Mark sort of got the unglorified job of having to get her back up to that stage again. So I'm sure he'll be able to do it.
Well, let's have a look at these drives on Saturday night. Jackie in race 4, the semi-final for the 3-year-old boys. Mahomes coming off a brilliant win. Yeah,
he went really well last start. He felt very sharp. He hit the line really well in a really nice quarter. I think 26-1 off the top of my head. He's a very high speed horse, just a little bit awkwardly drawn, but I know if he does no work early, he'll be running into that top 5 hoping to get a spot in the final.
Yeah, it's interesting when you consider that the favourite for the race, My Ultimate Byron, which we know is very highly regarded, has drawn barrier 1.
Yeah, he seems to get that barrier quite a bit, Byron, and we all know that horse is a bit of a runner, you could say, or he likes to be up on this pace if not making the pace. So I learnt my lesson trying to cross that horse as a 2-year-old and coming out 25-8 or something along those lines. So it looks like he's probably hard to beat, but our main aim is just to get into the final.
Yeah, I know from Peter Russo, the trainer of Mahomes, he's timed his training routine with Mahomes right to the split second.
Yeah, he has. He's done an awesome job with him, Pete. It's a real credit to him, actually, because he's tipped him out at the right time. He's looked after him. He hasn't over-raced him. And even just knowing the horse from a yearling or early 2-year-old driving him in his educations to driving him now, the job that he's done with him and the horse that he's made him into is a real credit to him.
I know he's picking up terms as a 4-year-old, Jack, Chariots of Fire, but more looking towards the Eureka.
Yeah, well, it would be nice. I mean, that's sort of on the horizon and it's in your own backyard. Obviously, you need someone to pick him up with something like that. But, I mean, if he keeps progressing and he keeps getting stronger, another break after hopefully the Blue Series, and, you just never know.
Over to race 6, the Group 3 5th, and Braveview Kelly goes around. And, Jack, realistically, this looks her race for the taking.
Yeah, you think so. She obviously got beat by Tay last week. She sat on Braveview Kelly and took the hole straight to get her just on the line. To be honest, I wasn't 100% satisfied with Braveview Kelly. I'm not taking anything away from the winner. I just think that she might have been a little bit lazy in front and waited for her a bit. I'd be keen to drive Braveview Kelly with a set, although saying that, this race does look hers for the taking, so this might not be the race, but I do expect her to be a lot better and down the track, driven with one run.
Yeah, this one's going to be the next question, Jack. In a race such as this, do you stamp your authority on your rivals right from the outset?
Well, I think so. I mean, she is the class mare in the race, and being a small field, I think she wasn't disgraceful last start. I just think that she could have been a little bit better, and no disrespect to the other mares, but there isn't a Tay this week, so, why not? Let's just throw caution in the wind and see if we can go one better.
One of those mares is Town Echo, also trained by you. Now, she's coming off 2 unplaced runs, but she was out of her grade and certainly up against older rivals, so she's back to a suitable race.
Yeah, she is. It's actually a bit of a shame with her. She come over a medium graded mare and she just runs straight through her classes, and there's only really one race a month suitable for her, a mare's race, and that's why you've seen her racing in the free-for-all against the free-for-all boys. So as good as she's been into the stable and, as good of mare as she's been to me, they're actually going to take her home, the owners, and breed from her after this race. So I can completely understand that. It's awfully hard to try and warrant them to keep a mare and work just to race once a month. So it's a bit of a shame, but she's done an awesome job, and I'm sure she'll be a great brood mare down the line.
And satisfaction to you too when you get a mare like that, or any type of horse, and you do put them through their paces and they come out on top.
Yeah, no, it was. She's she come over here with a pretty good resume. She had a really big rap as a 2-year-old, and she probably didn't live up to it, to what they thought she could be. COVID did make it hard for her, where some of the fillies back in New Zealand they caught up with her when she was sort of the up and going 2-year-old. They managed to catch up on her, but yeah, she was sort of like a pleasant surprise, and she turned out to be a great mare, and she won a Group 1 and done wonders for my career as well.
Over to race 7, the 3-year-old fillies heat, Captain Me, very consistent performer going around, but so does Steno.
Yeah, I know, and she drew inside me too, Steno, which sort of makes it a lot harder. Once again, a lot like Mahomes, she just needs to run in the top 5 just to try and make it into that final. I'm really happy with how she is going. She's from a horse a couple of months ago. I was scratching my head wondering where we go next with her and what way to go with her. And all it took was a gear change on her head, and it's just turned her around and got her back trying. So the owner, Mick Harvey's having a bit of fun with her. And yeah, like I said, as long as we can try and snare into the top 5 and make the final, I'll be happy.
It's always good to have your stars, Jack, but it's also good to have a team of honest performers, and that also applies to Blue Chip Delight in race 9.
Yeah, he's sort of honest. I think I was a bit disappointed with him his last couple. He's had good runs, and he sort of promises the world and just hasn't sort of delivered when asked a question. So although he's thereabouts, I do think he can be better with that. He's the horse that's got me scratching my head now, so I'll probably think over the next couple of days what we can change with him to try and get him switched on. But he's definitely got ability, and he's going to be one of those horses, when I work out what he needs to do, it should click and he'll win a lot of races.
There's always something for a trainer to do.
Oh, I know, it's killing me. That's why I've aged about 10 years since I've been training, but if it was easy, everyone would do it, but that's all part of the game. We just got to keep thinking and try not let them beat you.
And good to see Ash Hart now working for the stable.
Yeah, it's really good. Really good for the stable. She's a great worker and a really nice girl. So she's been to a lot of the top stables around Australia now, and her attention to detail with my horses is next to none. So it's really good knowing that while I'm down the track or on my way, everything's getting done with her and Jack Brown. And yeah, I couldn't be happy with the team I've got.
Yeah, one thing with Ash, she just loves what she's doing.
Yeah, she does, and yeah, she's also really good at it too. And sometimes I just ask her what to do, and it takes a bit of pressure off my shoulders. So, like I said, I'm wrapped with the team I've got around me.
Good luck on Saturday night, Jake.
Cool, thank you very much.